The world is abundant with food and good things. We live in a bountiful creation. So anytime you are tempted to think that the world is nothing but finite resources to be competed over, that it's a zero-sum game that we have to fight tooth and claw to get our share, you're not thinking biblically. You're not thinking about the way that Christians think about the world. Now, this is truly important to understand because, for example, there are many malnourished children who live even in our own neighborhoods, who attend our own schools locally, and we're beginning to address this in terms of our local missions emphasis. And then there are children who are literally starving to death in parts of the world. And the question is God behind this? Clearly in Genesis, the answer is no. In many parts of the world, hunger is, of course, the result of dreadful droughts or of persistent flooding and the like. And we call things like that acts of God. But it's really nature's wrath that makes it impossible to adequately produce food in a particular region for a time, but not all over the globe. In other words, the problem with the earth is not a production problem, it's a distribution problem. It's about whether we can get food to one another from different places, and we certainly can. Our World Hunger Offering each year here at Wilshire addresses this very problem. We know that there are pockets of hunger all over the world, and so when we give to this World Hunger effort, we actually work with people that we have confidence are going to get the food there. Now, this is one of the biggest problems worldwide when it comes to hunger. Because we all know that governmental agencies and non-governmental agencies that are distributing food to people who are starving around the world are often frustrated by those middlemen, so to speak, who hold up the food, or those politicians who seek to control their population by starvation and privilege their cronies with it. Sometimes people are hungry in our world because they are unemployed. Sometimes because they are underemployed. And sometimes that's their fault. And sometimes it's the problem of an economy that they have no control over. Their children are innocent of this all the time. Their children don't have anything to do with their own condition. But in any case, I'll say it again, God has made the world in such a way that appetites can be satisfied, that true hunger can be met. There is a sustainable life possible for this planet. The reasons we don't do, or we don't see all of that, has more to do with us than it does with God. So let's begin by stipulating that a responsible faith operates with a theology of enough, not a theology of not enough. Second, God put an appetite in us. God put desire in us. God made human beings hungry. Why? Well, partly so that we would continually be satisfied, but partly also so that we would have it in us to grow, that we would want to be nourished and stretch and grow. And this is not just a material growth, but a spiritual one as well. Appetite, see, is not the problem. Desire is not what sabotages us. That would be a Buddhist understanding of why people suffer. A Christian interpretation of this is that all desire and all appetite is not wrong and needs to be suppressed. It is right, but needs to be rightly directed so that it can be truly well satisfied. And one of the problems we all face is with those who try intentionally to misdirect our desires and to switch our appetite for good things into unhealthy things.